Everything we thought we knew. It was all just a fabrication that the Red Women, no, that the Helganquil made up.
Right. Assuming we can believe anything that Hevrek 35 has told us, that is.
Well, if the names are anything to go by, it's possible the Helganquil could be behind the fruits of Helgen too.
But if Hevrek 35 was telling the truth, and this was all just one massive lie, does that mean everything we've done up until now has been pointless?
No, I don't think so. Or at least I hope not. I think it just means we've lost our foothold for now. That's all.
Really? Well then, if we've lost it, I guess we'll just have to find another. All of us together. And if we can't find one, then we'll make a new one. End of story.
Make one, huh? I see. Right then. Count me in.
I think it turned out pretty decent, but what do you all think?
Oh, it's you two. Does he seem like he's doing any better now?
He who? Oh, you mean Dohalim, don't you?
I know that we're all struggling to wrap our minds around it all, but he looked like he was taking it really hard earlier.
What do you think about everything we've learned? About the Renans, and the Great Spirit, and all that?
On some level, I'm not even really sure what to think, to be honest. I mean, the Great Spirit is like a huge natural disaster, but with a mind and will of its own. But if that thing's hellbent on trying to destroy our planet, then the only thing left for us to do is stop it. As for the Renans, I suppose my feelings on that are a bit more mixed.
How so?
Coexistence between Dahnans and Renans in Menancia is still a work in progress. In my case, I think that's partly because deep down, I was still on guard around Renans. So, to be told that they're like us, that they're actually just like us is, well, I guess it's a little deflating, to be honest.
You kept a pretty level head.
You mean about the Renans? At the end of the day, the Helganquil and the Great Spirit are the ones who are responsible. But at the same time, I realize that not every Dahnan is necessarily going to believe that either.
I know you're already aware of this, but the list of grievances the Dahnans have against the Renans is long, and understandably so. And if people then find out that they're all actually one and the same, yeah, I don't think they're going to take to it too kindly.
Even just among the Dahnans, I'm sure there'll be some who emerge with power and some who won't. I think if we can find a way to get rid of that imbalance, then we'll be in a truly good place.
Well, first we can try to figure out what to do about the existing conflicts we have.
Yeah. It'd be nice if one day people could learn to get past their hatred like Rinwell did.
It's no small task. We can't pretend like the past didn't happen and ask people to forget their very real pain and suffering.
Right. Everybody has their reasons for feeling the way that they do. But if we just keep yelling at each other about it, we'll never move on. In a worst-case scenario, it might lead to even more people getting killed.
And we all have to figure out how to meet halfway. Not just that, but to also embrace each other's pain in a sense.
That's an interesting way of putting it.
It's true. Everybody has their own scars, their own trauma. The first step to healing those wounds is to put aside that hatred. It won't be achieved through reasoning. But I think it's a good first step, if nothing else. And now, I think I see a way to move forward. But to do that, first we need to make sure our planet isn't going to get wiped out.
You both seem awfully calm.
Only because after everything we've seen, we don't have the energy to keep being shocked.
How are you holding up, Rinwell? That whole talk about the Renans looked like it shook you up a bit.
Yeah. I get this sinking feeling whenever I remember how Danon mages like my family were persecuted and died out. And now, I finally know why that is. But I was thinking, if Renans end up living together with Danons again, then mages won't be such an unusual thing to see on Dana anymore, right? I know it's not as simple as all that, but Danons probably won't be so quick to let their guards down, and there might be Renans who still act superior because of their arts.
It wouldn't surprise me. 300 years of bad blood and prejudice isn't going to be an easy thing to overcome.
Yeah, I know firsthand just how much hatred can take hold in your heart once you let it in. But even so, I was still able to change. And if I can change, so can anyone else. So I was thinking maybe, I don't know, I could use my position as both a Danon and a mage to help bring both sides together.
Rinwell.
That great spirit worries me too, though. Dana's will feels so warm and inviting. So why is Rena's will trying to destroy our entire planet?
Now that you mention it, Everett 35 and the other scientists here never really brought that up. Maybe they don't know either.
Maybe. But regardless, at the end of the day, Dana's still our home. There's no way we can let it be destroyed.
We won't. We'll keep it safe no matter what.
I still can't believe it, man.
You're not the only one still trying to make sense of all this. Believe me.
Really? You've never struck me as the type of guy to get hung up on these sorts of things.
Did you forget what happened back in Thistleum? Once my memories started coming back to me, I felt completely and totally lost.
It was really that bad for you?
Yeah, it was. But thanks to Law and everybody else, I remembered that I still had things out there worth fighting for.
Man, I think you might be a better guy than me, Alphen. All I can remember thinking was, when's this guy gonna get his act together?
Law.
I was too worried about repeating the same mistakes I'd made back with my dad, and running away from the truth. That was no way to live. and I've tried to stay strong, my way. But all this talk about other races and the world ending, if I can be honest with you guys, it's just all too much for me to handle right now.
I know this is going to sound strange coming from me, but maybe the key is not to worry too much about the big stuff right now.
Oh?
I used to worry all the time about my thorns, for obvious reasons, but I never really opened up to anyone about them. And when I realized my visions pointed to a threat that was bigger than me, I didn't know what I should do or who to tell. But that's when I finally got it. You guys were all there for me, to teach me what's really important. I just had to open up and listen.
In other words, if you let the big picture stuff get you all muddled up inside, you'll begin to lose sight of what you really care about. Yeah, I think you're right.
The thing that's most important, what I really care about. All I want to do is protect the people that really matter to me, to fight for them. That's good enough, right?
Not everyone is strong enough to fight.
Huh?
It's something your dad told me once when he was still alive. Law, you know you're strong enough to fight, and you're strong enough to protect the people you care about. Forget all the big stuff going on. Just don't lose sight of what you want to protect in the first place. Sound good?
Yeah, I think it does. It's like a big weight's been lifted off my shoulders. I'll fight to protect the people around me. Just like I always have. I think that's best.
I apologize for making you witness that.
You mean hearing the origins of the Renans?
Indeed. It's shocking to have so many things I thought to be indelible fade away in mere seconds.
Even I'm still not sure everything we've heard here is actually true.
Let's not delude ourselves. If what we've heard is a lie, it's a rather elaborate one. I can only imagine that you must have been constantly feeling like this, ever since your memory returned, Alphen. And you as well, Shion. About your thorns, and being a maiden.
That's just part of being alive, don't you think?
Well, to say the least. But enough about me. I'm not concerned for myself. What concerns me is all of the other Renans out there.
When you say the other Renans, you mean the ones that are living on Lenegis or Dana, right?
Correct. Even if we stop the Great Spirit from annihilating Dana, our problems will still remain. Putting aside the untold state that Rena may be in, if we do not truly belong there, we will have to think long and hard about where it is that we wish to return to.
So, I guess your only real choices at this point are to either stay on Lenegis or come down to Dana, huh? And right now, Lenegis might not even be a safe option.
And at the same time, Danans are hardly likely to embrace Renans with open arms. If the issue is forced, things could turn dire. There is, after all, 3 centuries worth of hatred to overcome between us. And the victims of our rule have absolutely every right to feel animosity towards us Renans. Our own circumstances as the aggressors are irrelevant.
I didn't expect the former Lord of Menancia to be so down about people reconciling.
Menancia's fate was a stroke of good luck. There had been backlash over how it had been ruled, and I was blessed to have sympathizers among my ranks. Still, even now, there remain ardent dissidents.
But things can still change if you have the right people to help lead the way. Isn't that what you hope to achieve on Lenegis, after this is all over?
Indeed, I have fully accepted the burden of that responsibility. In that regard, I remain determined. On that note, I have something of a favor to ask of you, Alphen.
Oh? What is it?
I wish for you to serve as a mediator so that the Renans can live on Dana peaceably. As the one and only Blazing Sword, I suspect the Dahnans may listen to what you have to say when problems arise.
And I take it that you'll be the one to represent the Renans?
Yes. I realize that I'm asking quite a lot of you. However, the fact of the matter is that it will take time for Renans to re-enter Dahnan society without any bloodshed. That is why.
You're the same as ever, Dohalim.
Is it too much?
No, relax. You get so tense and formal when you're asking for a favor. Listen, there's no need for that. We're friends.
You're too kind. I can see you were raised well.
That's some high praise, Alphen.
Then I'll ask once again, this time just as friends. Alphen, will you help me?
You don't even need to ask. Of course I will.
Thank you, my friend.
Well, it sounds like everyone's learning from their past and using it to create a better future for everyone.
What about you, Shion? How do you feel about the origin of the Renans?
To be honest, I'm not really all that shocked, actually. I mean, I might be a Renan in the literal sense, but I've never really felt like one of them. Right now, it's kind of a mystery.
How do you mean?
Because for a really, really long time, all I ever thought about was how I was going to die. Not if or when, but how. I thought I'd die alone. That fate had me in its steely grip. I would have never imagined that I'd be traveling with someone like you, fighting to save Rena and Dana. I mean, how could I have? It's been going on for 300 years. All this tragedy and destruction. When you consider the Helganquil's part in all this, it's been even longer than that. It was Naori's hope that somehow, someone in the future would be able to stop it, before it was too late. How it fell on us, of all people, to heed that call, is a mystery.
I don't think Naori was hoping that we would just stop the world from getting destroyed. She considered me, a Dahnan, as a real person. And she very much cherished her own people, too. I don't think she wanted the world to be saved, just so they could go back to hurting each other. Oh, maybe this is what she meant.
Huh?
When we were talking to Kisara earlier, about all that stuff like everyone's needing to meet halfway and embrace each other's pain and suffering. She said that the first step down that path was for each of us to put aside our own hatred. That means forgiving other people, even and especially before they forgive you.
Forgiving. So it goes both ways, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I don't just mean forgiving things that happened in the past either. Conflicts will keep happening. If we have any hope of moving on and building a better future, we have to all learn to forgive each other.
You know, you're right. People can hurt one another without even meaning to. I know that better than most, thanks to these thorns.
It's not going to be easy getting past this pain. But if we can do it, I'm sure there'll come a time when we can all truly understand each other. I'm there with you, Shion. I too want to protect the world we live in, and all the people we care about. I think that's the very least I can do to repay Naori for everything that she did.
Yeah, I want a future that she would feel proud to live in, and I'm going to fight for it.
Whoa there, Savior Girl. We're here to save you too, you know.
Yes, I know. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten. I want to live, and that's the honest truth.
Well, Is everybody ready to do what needs to be done?
I am. There's a lot to think about, but at the end of the day, Dan is still in danger. I don't care who we're up against. We'll kick their ass.
What are your thoughts, Alphen? I want to know what's on your mind, too.
Like Law said, if we have to fight the Great Spirit on Rena, then so be it. It's trying to rob us of our entire world, and it's going to take not just our home, but all of existence along with it. That alone is enough to make it our enemy. But it's not only that. One way or another, I think beating the Great Spirit is going to be tied to us saving Xion.
You're saying there's a chance?
You're referring to the vision of destruction we all saw in Lenegis, I take it?
Yeah. 3 centuries ago, the astral energy that appeared at the spirit channeling ceremony showed Naori that vision. And to hear Xion tell it, it's the same one that she sees from her own thorns as well.
Indeed. Xion's thorns are comprised of dark astral energy, the one type which we know is native only to Rena. And if Rena's great spirit is what's behind Dana's pending destruction, then...
Xion's thorns are the Great Spirit? It's not actually on Rena like we thought?
We don't know anything for certain. At the very least, though, I think it's possible her thorns are a part of the Great Spirit.
While the main body resides in Rena.
Xion.
If these thorns really are a part of Rena's Great Spirit, I'm going to go over there and give it a piece of my mind and then some.
The question is, how do we confront it? Suffice it to say, that flower growing out of Rena is enormous, large enough to house the will of an entire planet. The Wedge and Lenegis were both hard enough for us to overcome in their own right. This is an altogether greater challenge for merely 6.
And we only know about the Thorns connection thanks to Naori.
Hevric 35 has been observing the Great Astral Spirit this whole time. It wouldn't ask us to fight it unless it has a plan of some sort. Let's go see what that is. Our minds are made up. Let's go give Hevric 35 our answer.
So if the Sovereign and Maiden were originally boot-up programs for Lenegis, what about now?
Even with the Forbidden Zone in ruins and the Renis Alma stolen, Lenegis is functioning fine. If it needed us before, it doesn't appear to now.
First they lumber you with a position you never asked for, then you're discarded like you're nothing? Who the hell do they think they are?
More importantly, who do they think we are? We might not even factor into their list of concerns.
I just hope everyone on Lenegis is safe.
Worst comes to worst, Lenegis is equipped with a large number of starships the people can escape in. As long as the whole satellite doesn't suddenly explode or something, they should be fine.
Wait, explode?
In any case, if we're truly going to make a difference, it's on Rena we're needed, not Lenegis. The people there will be fine, I'm sure of it.
Right.
you have your answer for me?
We want to ask something first. You're asking us to fight an entire planet. How exactly do you expect us to do that? You must have something up your sleeve, or else you wouldn't put us up to it.
The great astral spirit is an immense being, but its actual will does not run throughout its entire body. Rather, its will is derived from the core, which supports the rest of the body, and is where its strength is most densely concentrated. Therefore, if you destroy the core, the Great Spirit shall become unable to maintain sentience, and return to being ordinary astral energy.
And how are we supposed to destroy that core?
By using the Renus Alma. You will also need the assistance of both the Sovereign and the Maiden. They are our best tools for suppressing and controlling astral energy. Using their powers, the Maiden shall seal the great astral spirit within her body, and the Sovereign shall wield the power of the Renus Alma to destroy it.
Hold on. That sounds a lot like what Shion described before.
Yeah, killing herself to take out the thorns with her.
She was actually right all along.
By my calculations, your powers combined should be sufficient to destroy the great astral spirit, and disperse its energy widely enough to make it difficult to reform.
What will happen to the Maiden once we manage to beat the great astral spirit?
Any matter contained within the field of destruction shall be erased.
So it really will kill me.
This method is the most simple one available to destroy the Great Spirit, and is therefore our most reliable option.
What are our other options?
There is little reason to consider alternative courses of action when the most optimal among them is so clear.
You don't get it. I promised Shion that she wouldn't die, that we'd save the world without needing to sacrifice her. We didn't fight this whole time just to give up on her at the very end. If there's any other way to take out the Great Spirit, I want to hear it.
This plan shall lead to the fewest losses in preserving your world. Abandoning it is irrational. It is vital that you proceed with this plan. A part of Rena's great astral spirit already resides within her. 300 years ago, the Great Spirit descended upon Lenegis in an attempt to assume direct control of the spirit channeling ceremony. We have reason to believe the Great Spirit left part of itself behind, and that it now resides in the Maiden.
Which would make Alphen's earlier hypothesis correct.
That part inside the Maiden belongs to the core, and can be used by the Great Astral Spirit to revive itself. So long as it remains, it will be all but impossible to fully eradicate the Great Spirit. That is why it is necessary for it to be vanquished only once it is whole. Without the Maiden's direct control over the Great Spirit, attacking it is futile, and will only serve to strengthen it.
No.
Wait. Naori said that the Renus Alma can suppress the self-realization of astral energy, and that the thorns can be neutralized by placing them in it. If so, can't the same also be done to the Great Spirit, seeing as the thorns are simply part of it?
Well, can it?
It is true that the Renus Alma is capable of what you suggest, and could contain the Great Astral Spirit.
Yes!
However, doing so requires fine control on the level of the spirit channeling ceremony, considering that the Renus Alma was previously lost when that ceremony failed. I cannot allow it. Its uncertainty is simply too great.
What does that mean for us if you won't allow it?
Your starship will not be restored, and you will all be unable to leave here.
Why you?
Fine then. I'd rather stay here and rot than do it your way.
Alphen?
Whatever we do, if we mess up, Dana's screwed. The Great Spirit will destroy it. If you're fine letting that happen, and we have nothing to gain either way, then I'd rather do nothing. We want to stop Dana from getting destroyed. We want to save it. But not if it means having to sacrifice one of us in the process. If all you're gonna do is sit back and watch us where it's safe, Then quit ordering us around and shut up!
Alphen.
What you say is irrational. Be that as it may, I shall accede to your demand.
You'll agree?
I am an observer. The Sovereign, Maiden, and Renis Alma are my species' greatest achievement. I wish to see how well they work against the Great Spirit in light of our demise by its hands.
But what are we supposed to do about the Renis Alma? One of your buddies ran off with it back on Lenegis.
It is likely that the Renis Alma is with the Great Spirit, functioning as a catalyst for it to receive Dana's astral energy.
So our only option to retrieve it is to head straight for the Great Spirit and take it back?
According to my observations, the astral energy is most densely concentrated in the center of Rena, where the Great Spirit's core is located.
So right in the middle of that giant flower then.
I have one more question. You've said that Rena's great astral spirit is already integrated with the planet. What will happen to Rena once it vanishes?
Without the will of the Great Spirit, Rena is predicted to collapse. Even in such a scenario, the energy will disperse, and the Great Spirit will likely not reform.
So you're saying that even if we manage to beat the Great Spirit without destroying it, we'll still be in danger?
Likely, the collapse will occur in stages. It is recommended that you all escape before the final stage.
Man, I wish that thing would tell it to us straight for once.
Hevrek 35 and the others have gotten used to hypothesizing from afar, is all. Fix our starship. We're going to Rena.
Excellent.
But I want to make one thing clear. We're doing this for ourselves, to protect what matters to us. We're not doing it for your sake, or because you told us to. Remember that.
It matters little to me. The end result shall be the same. Repair work on your starship has commenced. You'll have to wait until it's finished.
Man, is it too much to ask for Hevrek 35 to talk like a normal person? I swear I can feel my brain starting to fry after listening to all that complicated stuff.
Don't worry. I think we're mostly done with him. Now all we have to do is rest up and wait. Once the All Knights is good to go again. We'll be taking off for Rena right away. Is the Renis Alma really our only hope against the Great Spirit? There has to be another way, right?
Shion's Fire Master Core was able to suppress astral energy to prevent it from gaining sentience, right? Couldn't we make use of that somehow?
I'm not sure. In small doses, maybe, but with the amount of energy we're talking about here.
Back in Calaglia, the Blazing Sword was able to take in a whole spirit vessel's worth of energy. If it has the capacity to manage that, it can do this, right?
Except after it absorbed the energy, it ended up releasing it all moments later, remember? Let's not forget, it nearly killed you. Besides, this is the Great Spirit we're talking about, not a paltry vessel. Even if I could use the Master Core, your body wouldn't be able to take the strain of channeling that much energy.
Hevrek 35 didn't mention it, and it did not seem the type to skimp on details. So assuming it's even possible, the chances are slim to none.
You're probably right.
You still thinking about what the scientists told us? About where Renans really come from?
I am, but not for myself.
You're worried about the future of the Renan people.
The fact that our people have been the same this whole time will only give the Danans further reason to resent us.
But you still intend to confront this truth head-on, don't you?
Well, I did declare that I would live my life for the living, and not the dead. Even as I dream of retirement, I shall remain dedicated to the cause.
I'm sure you'll do great.
Now that I think about it, I don't believe I've ever heard you criticize or reproach us Renans even once.
I'm no saint. I have skeletons in my closet too. There was definitely a time when I hated Renans for who they were. I hated them just for being Renan. But you changed that, Dohalim. You gave me an opportunity to see them in a different light. Thanks to your reforms, we were able to stand next to Renans not as slaves, but as equals for the first time in our lives. Of course, I'm sure there were some Renans who still hated us on the inside. But we knew that not all of you were like that. There were those of you who were good, and that was a start. When it comes down to it, Renans are just people. They can be good or bad, just like Danans.
That is, in essence, the heart of your approach, isn't it? That we're all people.
Yeah, it is. When you can pull someone aside and talk to them one-on-one, then you have the chance to come to an understanding. But as soon as you stereotype, that chance goes away, and you stop thinking of them as people that you can relate to.
I understand what you're saying, but we're talking about massive numbers of Renans and Danans alike. Realistically speaking, surely they won't all be able to get along.
Even if we end up butting heads with one person, maybe we'll find better luck among their friends. If we can build a society that works like that, that'll be something worth nurturing and protecting.
So you wish for people to form real bonds and do away with the hierarchy outright? To deal with one another as humans, and nothing more? That's the ideal future you hope to see when this is all over?
Yes, I do. I think it would make for a fine tribute to my brother's legacy. Though, that said, I would be doing it for the people of the future first and foremost. Do you still plan to return to Lenegis?
Indeed I do.
You'll always have a home in Menancia, you know.
As I shall ever keep in mind.
Well, if you ever need a helping hand, don't hesitate to come get me. I'll always be there for you, Doe.
Did you just... Thank you, Kisar. I appreciate your patience as I...
Don't even mention it. And really, when you think about it, now that we know the two of us aren't so different after all, don't...
You know, I had...
Yeah.
Hey, why'd you call me here? Was there something you wanted to talk about?
Well, if everything we've heard about the Great Spirit is true, then we're getting close to our final battle. So I wanted to apologize while I can.
Apologize? For what?
I was being real stupid before, about whether Dana's will had been controlling us and all that. I get why you're angry now. Anybody would be if something they trusted was being questioned. So, I'm sorry, Rinwell. Really. I should have kept my mouth shut.
No, Law. Honestly, I think you might have been onto something. Of course you were worried. Who wouldn't be if they found out there might be some invisible force pulling our strings this whole time?
But you really trust Dana's will, don't you? Is it because you can sense it a lot more than the rest of us? Because you can understand it?
Yeah, I think that might be part of it. But I think I also want to believe it's good.
Believe?
Remember how I used to really resent coming from a family of mages?
Yeah, of course. Because you were always on the run and had to live in hiding.
When we rescued Zephyr and I finally decided to come along with you all, something changed inside me. It was the first time I felt like my powers had any meaning, even if that meaning was only helping you guys fight. Then, when I felt Dana's will, I was overwhelmed by how vast and warm it was. It made me want to believe my powers were made to connect with it. It made me believe I had a bigger purpose.
So that's why you hope it doesn't turn out to be bad. You almost need it to be kind.
Yeah.
Well, alright. Then I promise I'll lay off bad-mouthing it.
You will?
There's no way for me to know for sure one way or the other, right? But you trust it, Rinwell, and that's enough for me. So I'll trust it because you do.
Remember what I said about neither planet's great spirit reaching us here?
Yeah?
That's not quite true. I can feel just a little bit of Rena's inside you and everyone else.
You... what?
I sensed it when we first got here. It's a really small amount, so it doesn't feel like it has a will of its own. But I think that's how Dana's energy probably is too.
So you're saying there's a little bit of Dana's will inside each of us? In a way, doesn't that mean we're all Dana's will?
What?
Well, like you said, unless Dana's energy comes together, it has no will. So if we all have a little bit of Dana's astral energy inside us...
Yeah, maybe...
Heverick 35 might know the answer. But, you know what? I don't need to ask it. My will is my own. I fight for who I want to fight for. That's who I am now. Who I've become. So thanks, Rinwell, for sharing that with me. To be honest, the only reason I was suspicious of Dana's will, well, I mean, it mostly was... I feel like you and I had grown apart lately, and I was worried it was because...
Huh?
Never mind. Nothing. Just forget about it.
Huh? No, what were you saying?
Saying? I don't remember
Come
saying
on.
anything.
Now you won't tell me what you were
No,
thinking?
that's not what I'm saying.
Then spit it out already.
Are you sure you don't want to get some rest?
I can't. I've got too much on my mind. Especially knowing how close our last battle is. How are you doing, Xion?
Same as you, still trying to absorb everything.
Remember when it was so simple? We were only fighting all the lords on Dana? All of that feels like a lifetime ago, doesn't it?
Ages and ages ago. Everything that's happened since we first met. So many fights, so much chaos, so many wonderful people.
If I hadn't run into you that day, well, I wouldn't have met all of you. I never would have held the blazing sword or looked for something more. I wouldn't have my memories back. I'd still be a faceless slave, like as not long dead.
Hey, Alphen. I want you to promise me something.
Yeah?
If we can't find the Renis Alma, there's something I want you to do. Like Hevrecht 35 said, the only way we can end the Great Spirit for good is to go after both the main body in Rena and the thorns in me. I need you to promise me, Alphen, that if for some reason we can't get the Renis Alma back, you'll use the Blazing Sword to destroy the Great Spirit, and me along with it.
Huh?
It's true the Blazing Sword may not have the strength of the Renis Alma, but it's taken us this far. It's slain lords and beasts. At the very least, it has to be worth a try.
You can't be serious. Have you forgotten everything
Listen,
that we've...
the Great Spirit isn't just our problem. It's a threat to our entire world, Renans and Dahnans alike. We don't know what's going to happen when we face it, but we need to be prepared for anything. We can't second-guess ourselves when the time comes. I promise you, I'm not planning on going anywhere. I'm prepared to fight with absolutely everything I've got. But if it comes down to it, I need you to be prepared too.
Okay. But you should know that I'm not going to give up on you, Shion. I'm going to fight this until the very end. I hope you can forgive me for that.
Alphen. Okay, I understand. And I'll forgive you.
Thank you, Shion.
So it's a promise then?
Yeah, it's a promise.
I remember how I felt the first time you touched me. My thorns made any contact a mistake no one would ever make twice. After they'd seen what could happen, fear would always linger behind their eyes. In my entire life, I never had someone willingly reach out to me. But when you reached out to me and gently took my hand, you didn't react at all. It was so easy for you. I don't have words for the shock I felt in that moment.
That's because I couldn't feel pain back then.
Even once you could, though, you still chose to keep reaching out to me. And when you did, I felt this warmth that I had never known before. But still, I hate having to see you suffer through it every time you do.
You won't have to worry about that for much longer.
You think so?
I do, because Shion,
No. You can tell me once my thorns are gone. Okay?
Yeah. Okay. Everybody get enough rest? We ready for this?
Yeah, we should probably get moving.
Agreed. Can't stand around waiting all day.
Our task is relatively straightforward. We need only descend down to Rena, defeat the Great Spirit, and restore stability to both worlds.
We're fighting for a new future for both Dana and Rena.
Right. We've come this far. We will save our worlds. That's a promise.
Then let's go, everybody. We've got one last wall to tear down.
Repairs on your starship are complete. Everything is in working order.
Is that you, Hevrecht 35? You can see us from where you are?
I can. I can see anywhere within the bounds of Dake Faisal.
Sounds like someone's a peeping Tom.
Maybe we should give Hevrecht 35 a break. It has been stuck in this tiny facility for a very, very long time.
I have unlocked all functions on your starship. You can now make use of its warp drive.
Warp drive? Wait, you mean like what the Red Women used on us? What brought us here?
It's possible that the Red Women may have found a way to activate it on the starship. They are Helganquil, after all.
Using the warp drive, you should be able to breach Rena's atmosphere without being detected.
Wait, should?
You'll need to be careful. Due to the force field surrounding Rena, the ship will be unable to go any further than the surface of the planet.
So, once we reach the shell, it appears we'll have to infiltrate the core by foot. Understood.
We gotta go all the way down just walking?
Will all the Helganquil go back to normal once we defeat the Great Spirit? I have a strange feeling we're going to have to fight them before this is all over.
The extinction of my people is inevitable at this stage. As such, it would be illogical to risk the success of the mission in a vain attempt to save my kind.
We understand.
Can't that thing lighten up a bit? Everything it says seems to be about what's illogical.
Well, come on, Doe.
Hold up, did you just...
You heard the lady. Get going.
I have one last question.
What?
As Sovereign, your identification number indicates that you are well past your predicted life expectancy. Similarly, the Maiden lacks any identification number, as her function should have been rendered unnecessary. Despite this, the two of you continue to exist. Why?
We exist because others have entrusted this to us. Over the years, many people have come together and sworn to see this through to the end.
You mean it is because of multiple chance interactions? The likelihood of such events is statistically improbable. Why have you two continued to persist under these conditions?
It's hard to explain. To be honest, I don't think it's something an observer could understand. All right, time to get back on the Fall Knights.
It would appear that our Helganquil host really has fulfilled its end of the bargain.
You know what that means. Time to go to Rena.
I guess this means we should give that warp drive a spin.
there's nothing here. This weird ocean we're surrounded by just stretches out everywhere. Is this really where the Helganquil come from?
I don't sense even a trace of astral energy. This world is dead.
Then this must be the Hollowing.
You mean to tell me this whole world, the entire ocean is that stuff?
And it's covering everything. The entire planet.
This is what the Great Spirit does. After it depleted this planet of every last speck of astral energy, it went after Dana.
So arresting. This world of doom.
Back in its day, Rena was probably just as vibrant as Dana is. But after being robbed of its astral energy for so long, those days are gone and past. This is all that will remain.
So the Great Spirit took everything. It stole energy not just from living beings, but the land, the sea, everything.
And it bound the Helganquil in servitude until their whole world was nothing but this. And by the looks of it, that's how it remains to this day. A world of death and emptiness.
With nothing left here to consume, the Great Spirit turned its sights on Dana, looking for another host.
You're saying if we don't stop it, this is what Dana's going to look like?
We can be sure that even these few remaining remnants of Renan life will not be spared in the end.
If the oblivion and darkness both Shion and Naori saw comes to pass, nothing will survive. It looks like we can climb down from there. Let's take a look.
So this is Rena. This is where everything began. Yet it's a dead world?
I won't let Dana suffer the same fate. Ever.
A hollowed ocean as far as the eye can see. What do you think would happen if we fell in?
What do you mean, what would happen? You'd drown, wouldn't you?
Come to think of it, I don't believe I've heard of someone ever trying. Perhaps you'd like the glory of being the first?
Nah, I'll pass.
This is essentially a world-sized Renan graveyard. Are you proposing to disturb the dead slumber just to satisfy your curiosity, Law?
No, because I said I passed.
Taking an interest is understandable, but let's not forget where we are. This place deserves our respect.
Looks like we're not going to be hearing the end of this one for a while.
You'd think I was already snorkeling in it or something. So the idea is to seal the Great Spirit inside the Renis Alma using the Sovereign and Maiden's power. But just how do we do that exactly?
I'm guessing it won't be as easy as holding a spirit channeling ceremony at our leisure.
I already had wielded astral energy once 3 centuries ago. As for suppressing her thorns, Shion's had a lifetime's experience. The problem isn't just our enemy's strength, it's that it's sentient too. And you can bet anything you like it's not going to just sit back and let us destroy it.
In other words, we need to find some way to weaken it in advance. The Great Spirit, that is.
Back when Shion's thorns flew out of control, we were able to deal with them directly. If this is their host, they should be even more corporeal here.
If that's the case, it should make them easier to attack at least. And if we can manage to divert enough energy away from the spirit's core, even temporarily,
We might just be able to weaken it enough to steal the Renis Alma, which we can then use to seal it away forever. It won't be easy, but it's our only shot. Time to buckle up. Question for you. Let's say, knock on wood, everything turns out for the best.
What'll the world be like? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of this, do you really think everything will be that different?
A lot will have to change, that's for sure. The world will have to adjust to so much. My only worry is if those changes turn out to be merely skin deep.
What do you mean?
It's well and good putting an end to Renan rule. But if it just turns the tables, it's all for naught.
That's true. Just as bad if the Danans started pressing their own.
Renans, Danans, astral art users, mages. The world is full of labels used to divide and separate people.
If only we could see differences like that for what they are. No different to someone having a musical talent or being good with their hands. Not differences so much as characteristics.
It will take someone in power to set an example, but with time, people will follow. And then, perhaps one day,
There will no longer be any need for the example. It will have become second nature.
That's where we come in. We can set the example. Imagine it. A world where magic and astral arts are used to help people. Where that's the norm rather than the exception.
Yeah, you're right, Rinwell. Why wait for somebody else? We can show them ourselves.
Looks like we've warped into that pit of astral energy.
I wonder what Helganquil civilization was like at its zenith.
I can imagine that'd be something you'd take an interest in.
There's no question it must have been advanced, like none either world has ever seen. We could surely stand to learn a thing or two from such a people.
I get that you're itching to delve into its history, but we've got bigger fish to fry right now.
Put a pin in it, and you can do all the research you want when you retire.
I can think of worse things than a retirement dedicated to research. As for whether Rena is amenable to an aging specimen...
It's a little early to be giving it serious thought just yet.
A man can dream, though. A man can dream.
Oh, we didn't say there's anything wrong with dreaming.
In your case, Dohalim, dreams have a habit of spiraling into something else.
You'll need to stay with us for now, though. You're too helpful to let retire.
Why do I feel this is less of a compliment and more of an ultimatum?
Just a friendly suggestion.
Hey! Hey, I just realized something!
Is this about dinner last night? I didn't realize those ingredients were off.
What? No! I mean, wait, you fed us rotten food?
Rinwell, the point.
Oh, yeah, right. So I was thinking about those armored soldiers we've seen. There are regular Renans inside them, right?
Yeah, they're designed to make whoever's wearing them stronger. At least, I think that's the idea.
Right. So it kind of begs the question then, why are they made so huge?
I don't know, makes them more intimidating, I guess? Or maybe all that tech wizardry inside takes up a lot of space.
You don't think it's weird how the armored soldiers are the exact same height as the Helganquil?
Can't say I'd ever noticed it till now. And?
Connect the dots, Law!
Okay, let me get this straight. You think the armored suits might have originally been designed to allow Renans to work alongside the Helganquil?
Huh. But if that's true, what would that mean?
It would mean... just that, I guess. But still, don't you think it's kind of interesting?
Not hugely. Hey, Kisara, while I've got you, what's on tonight's menu? Because I was thinking, maybe meat?
Get him, Hootle.
What did I do?
Oh, now you want to listen. Keep pecking, Hootle!
Ow! Seriously, what the hell? You know, guys, when you think about it, we've taken out a lot of Zeugles. Like, a whole lot.
You can say that again. If one thing's for certain in this world, it's that wherever we go, we'll always end up bumping into them.
Isn't it weird that they're still so plentiful? You don't think the Renans have, like, a ranch where they breed them, do you?
Certainly in all of my years, I've never heard of them constructing such a massive facility on Dana, let alone up in Lenegis.
The only thing I can think of, then, is that the feral ones must be reproducing on their own.
There's also no organized effort on our part to hunt them down, so it's difficult to fully exterminate them.
Exterminate them? Whoa, don't you think that's maybe a little harsh?
What do you mean?
Zeugles originally used to be living creatures native to Dana and Rena, right? Being genetically modified isn't their fault.
You're right. Zeugles were only created because of us Renans. We altered the original creatures to suit our own ends.
First, people made Zeugles, and then we let them go. And now we're trying to kill them because they're a threat. They really have only seen the very worst, huh?
I hope we find a way to be able to live side by side with them one day.
It's a nice thought, but they attack towns and cities. What else are we supposed to do?
Aside from the strays that have gone wild, it's worth remembering that Renans are able to keep them somewhat under control.
If we had distinct territories that didn't overlap, that might reduce the danger they pose.
Well, I guess when you look at it that way, maybe people and Zeugles aren't so different after all.
Helganquil!
Guess they don't need their Red Woman disguises anymore.
Wait, can you understand us?
It's no use. We're not going to get through to them.
So they really are being controlled. In that case, we've got no choice.
I knew there was something off here!
They're not pulling punches. We have no choice but to beat them at their own game.
Here I come!
I'm surrounded!
Searing Flame! Reload! Glacial Spear! Pierce Evil! Green Blazer! That'll bring you down!
Here I come! Orochi's Fury!
Talon Hook!
Gemini Aqua!
Super Swallow Dash!
By the power of water!
Azure Storm! Orochi's Fury!
With blackened blade!
I'm all stopped up!
Ready to win!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
There you go, Alphen!
It's time to end this battle!
I'm right beside you!
The abyss
Ignite!
clear for us attack!
Annihilation!
Take this!
Now you see what I can all fit into here and now!
Spread!
Plasma Shock! An astral art?
That's my shield! Cyan Instant! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Bestow thy
Now!
music mercy!
You're mine!
This one's mine!
Perfect!
Your blade moves like silk.
Why think
Thank you for my instincts. And will you lay them? How fascinating.
Take this! Orochi's
I'll
Fury!
thank you!
Azure Storm!
Get toasty!
Bird strike!
Right, next one!
Spirits
Already on!
You're mine! Okay, here I go.
Alphen,
I can't forgive them for what they've done. But I hate killing them. They don't even know why they're fighting. How does that even make them any different from the Danan slaves?
Perhaps. However, if we don't make a choice, the guilt of not doing anything will be that much worse.
Yeah, I know. I hate for it to be like this. But if it happens again, you won't find me hesitating to act.
I wonder if we're going to get attacked again.
If we lose heart now, this whole mission is over. We have to stay the course.
I thought there'd be more dirt and rocks and stuff underneath the hollowed ocean, but it's all artificial.
I would imagine they're remnants left behind by the Helganquil, seeing as there's little actual land remaining.
It's incredible. Do you think it stretches all the way down to the center of the planet?
Hey, these guys built Lenegis, remember? He probably did this in a weekend.
If they had the power to create things like this, did they really only use those immense capabilities to serve the Great Spirit? Or rather, was that the only use the Great Spirit let them use their capabilities for? We haven't seen anyone here except Helganquil. Looks like this place really is their home planet.
The true citizens of Rena. What a shame that they have become nothing more than puppets to the Great Spirit. To think of the promise their accomplishments once held. They had the potential to be great indeed.
Do you think we could have got along with them? You know, if we had met under different circumstances. Like
all of us, you mean? I suppose it's difficult to say for sure. We don't even know if they would see us as being on an equal level with them or not.
I think we may have had the chance once, before the Renan Great Spirit came along and changed everything.
You and Alphen both share an optimism. A strong willingness to believe in hope.
Do you think that's foolish?
On the contrary, I should like to take a leaf from your book myself. In tragedy's aftermath, hope is all we have.
Just look at the size of that thing. The Helganquil's technology certainly is impressive. And they don't seem to do things by halves either. In the past 300 years, no, even before that, just how many people, Renan or Dahnan, do you think have ever seen this?
Regarding the past 3 centuries at least, I'd say there's a good chance that we're the first. Also, while I get that it's impressive and all, I'm just amazed you're still standing around gawping at it at a time like this. Sometimes I wonder about your priorities.
I can understand where he's coming from. More to the point, does anyone know where it leads?
What do you mean where it leads? To the center of the planet, of course.
And that doesn't strike you as sounding just a little bit, oh, I don't know, far? There has to be a quicker way to get there, right?
Yeah. With all this technology at their fingertips, it seems pretty unlikely that they'd make that kind of journey on foot. There must be some kind of device somewhere. Let's see if we can figure out how to use it.
Borrow one of their contraptions? You're either brave or out of your mind.
If it works for them, there's no reason it wouldn't for us. Why make things harder for ourselves?
You know what he's like, Law. Once he gets an idea in his head, there's no talking him out of it.
No choice! Take this!
Into everlasting darkness.
That'll bring you down!
Negative gate! Orochi Fury!
Pieces!
You're mine!
These ones can run drinks around us!
through armor!
Spread!
Mirage! Go finish!
Freeze laser!
It's on! You picked the wrong fight! Orochi Fury!
Do it! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
There you go, Alphen!
It's time to end this battle!
I'm right beside you!
Can't get out of this! Orochi's Fury! No escape! Azure Storm!
Leave the ensnaring to me. Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis!
Not a chance!
I'm just getting started! Here for us!
Orochi's Fury!
Talon Hurricane! Aqua Serpent!
This one's all mine!
Let the
Azure
marksman
Storm!
handle this!
Orochi's Fury!
Eagle Ray!
It's over!
Blood!
Burn in hell!
Engulf you!
On your Orochi's Fury!
Where are you going?
Super Swallow Day!
I'm ready! Chill!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Did you see?
Sure did. The part where you swung and missed, right?
Not that part!
I wonder how the Renans avoided being mind-controlled like the Helganquil. Do you think it might have something to do with the fact that they were originally Dahnans?
I'd say it's likely. Which is pretty ironic when you think about it.
Ironic?
The Renans have committed grave injustices against the Dahnans. But it was all of their own volition, not because they were being controlled. Now, it turns out they themselves were once Dahnans too.
Which must mean that the root of their evil isn't the Great Spirit, but something inherent in all of us. Our free will.
Now hang on, though. It was that same free will that allowed Xion and Dohalim to choose to fight alongside us. Without it, we wouldn't have been able to beat hatred and forge all those connections we've made. Free will is what saved us, right?
Law's entirely right. In any case, it certainly can't hurt to look on the bright side every now and then.
Yeah. Where there's hope, there's a way.
What'd he say?
He said, without a doubt.
Is this a dead end?
It appears this whole room functions as an elevator. That apparatus there is likely what's used to control it.
What the? Where did they come from?
Less worry, more action. Concentrate. Glacial Spear, your wings won't save you from me.
Blind freak! Why can't they just sit
Come one, come all! Sion, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done.
I can carve you now in the groove. Let's free. Inferno Punch! Eat you!
Reload!
Orochi's Fury!
None shall escape
You're
my
mine!
judgment.
Strike! Azure Storm! Orochi's Fury! Talon Storm!
Not much longer to
Here I touch!
Steady, Sion. Be careful not to overdo it.
I'm sorry. I'll do better.
Eat this! Talon Hurricane! Orochi's Fury! Rip and tear!
This one's mine.
On your feet. I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Freezing
More super?
Keep calm and take them down.
You're mine! Mirage! Orochi's Fury!
Radiant, this one's mine.
Dance in the wind! First strike!
Take
Here I
it
come!
down. Go. Primed and ready.
Orochi's Fury!
Mega Burst.
Amazing.
Annihilation.
Shattering the pieces! Attack! Ignite! Talon Orochi's Fury! Talon do it! Orochi's Fury!
Get toasty.
Burst strike!
Right, next one.
Already on! Crush! Down!
Hear my
You're
call.
mine! I'm not done!
Glacial Spear. Here's
Take
evil.
it!
Freeze Lancer.
This
one's mine.
Orochi's Fury! I'm ready! Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone.
More of them? Not a chance! It's over! Mirage! Take this! Boom! I knew we could count on you!
As we all count on your courage.
You're welcome! I'm not done! Ignite!
Glacial Spear. Here's evil.
I can carve through walls! Take this!
Freeze Lancer.
First strike! I'll face you! Orochi's Fury! Take it! No escape!
It's in the soil.
Orochi's Fury!
Another one down.
More?
Radiant Pierce.
Orochi's Fury!
Obstacle dash!
Dragon Ray. By the
Here I
power of
come!
water.
You're my...
Annihilation.
I'll
Mega
tear you
Ray.
apart!
Annihilation.
Take this! It's over! Elusive deity!
Radiant Pierce.
You see what happened there as you crossed? Shouldn't have done that!
Out of
The
ammo.
flame inside me is yours to be let free! I'm ready!
You're
Well!
Demon's Descent.
Flashing bang! More?
None shall
Not
escape
done!
my judgment.
I'm not done! You're
Eat
finished! Ignite!
Ray.
You're mine! Orochi's Fury! You're mine! I'm not done!
I never miss.
I'm ready!
Kizara. Go for it.
Prepare to crumble! More?
Now or never.
Take this! I'm on it! Elusive deity! I'll smash you! Eagle Ray! This one's all mine!
Do it.
Orochi! Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade! See that?
Water. Here's my call. Spread.
Mirage! Burn in hell! Orochi's Fury!
If it's in the sky, it's mine. This ends now.
Consider yourself finished! More?
Take
this!
Go. And yes.
Mirage! Rip and tear! Orochi's Fury! I'm on a roll now! This one's all mine!
Where are you going?
You're mine! Mirage!
Hurricane. Ready to go. Hear my call.
Here I come! Burn in hell!
If it's in the sky,
In a
it's
vine?
mine.
Take this!
Glacial, do it.
Blow them away!
How's that?
My
One
Acceptable.
more.
Crush!
This one's mine.
It's over! Blow away! Orochi's Fury!
Do it. Get toasty.
Burn strike!
I think I'm getting the hang of this.
You're definitely way stronger.
Yeah, nothing motivates you like having stakes this high.
Even in such a harsh environment as this, there are still creatures here?
You think they're native to Rena? Or could they be Zeugles somehow?
Whatever they are, they're dangerous. Watch yourselves around them. You think that pit stretches all the way to Rena's core?
If that's true, and if we go down, we should find the Great Spirit at the bottom.
We could get there even faster.
Gotta break through! Take this!
Glacial Spear!
Stay calm.
Evil!
I shall provide assistance.
These things really get on my nerves. Radiant?
I'm not done!
Pesky airborne scoundrel.
Sounds like a job for yours truly!
Freeze Lancer!
Burn! You're mine!
Glacial Spear!
Here's
Evil!
Catapult!
Freeze Lancer! Eagle Fly!
You require a hand.
Azure Storm!
Flame of Fury!
It's on!
Does it hurt?
Here I go!
Ignite!
I'll face you.
Glacial Spear! Here's Evil! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
There you go, Alphen!
It's time to end this battle!
I'm right beside you!
Havoc.
First strike! Orochi's Fury! First strike! Shockwave Flash!
Glacial Spear! Here's Evil! Let them mark!
No escape! You're finished! Cleansing you apart!
Not much longer to go!
Come on, one final push!
Let's do this together, Alphen!
Orochi's Fury!
Elusive deity.
Here I come!
Corruption!
You picked the wrong fight!
By the power of water!
Orochi's Fury!
I'm ready! Dolan! This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes. A merry distraction.
My turn!
There's still more to go!
Captivity.
Do it!
Orochi's Fury!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Here I go!
My turn! I'm not done!
Yeah! All the way!
Save you. Elusive deity.
You're mine!
Lightning!
Orochi's Fury! Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
Hey! Poodle's quivering! I think we're about to be real lucky!
Let's dispose of the trash.
Take it!
Glacial Spear! Pierce
Burn
Evil!
hell!
In a bind.
Orochi's Fury!
Your reflexes will not serve you well here.
I'm not done! Orochi's Fury!
Elusive deity.
Shockwave Flash!
Demon lash.
Infernal Damn it!
Tornado drive.
It's over! Burn! Damn it! Too fast!
Stand back. I'll trip it up.
Law! Get toasty!
Burn strike!
Right, next one!
Already on.
Orochi's Fury!
Raging Lunar Storm.
Mega Ray! Annihilation!
Shockwave Flash! Orochi's Fury!
Never miss!
It was nice while
Here
it
I come!
lasted. Anything in armor is all mine.
Blood.
Take this! I'm not done! It's over!
In a bind.
yearns to be let free!
Do it!
Totally! In an instant! Impact Block! We work well together!
Finally timed waltz.
Stalagmite! Burn in hell! Orochi's Fury!
Rending you
Do it!
apart.
Blazing Storm!
Astral energy! Full throttle! Go! Easy peasy, huh, Hoodle?
Way!
Take this! No escape!
Armor won't save you!
Lunar corruption! By the power of water! I'm ready!
I'm not
Got a
done!
feast hunting, anyone?
One's mine!
You're finished!
No further!
Here I come!
Talon Hurricane!
Roach's Fury!
Can you take it?
Reload! Reload!
A freezing storm!
Not today!
Just getting started! Now
Roach's Fury!
burn!
Graviton field!
Annihilation!
Annihilation!
Take this!
Mega ray! A night in
Take
the
this!
sky is mine!
Crush!
I never miss!
It's over! You picked the wrong fight! Roach's Fury!
Super Swallow Dance!
Do it! Chill!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
There you go, Alvin!
It's got
time
your
to end
name
this
on 'em.
battle!
I'm right beside you!
You're finished!
Take this! Now you see what I can do!
Here I come!
Resurrection!
No escape!
Back
Burn in hell!
Everlasting Talon Hurricane! Negative Gate!
Reload!
Roach's Fury!
Might with blackened blade! I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Serpent knuckle!
Resonate with the earth!
Next! My turn!
Mega ray!
Knight!
Gemini Aqua!
You're my try harder!
Awaken and
Something's wrong with me.
You just say the word and I'm there.
I can't believe it's come to this.
Try harder! My turn! I'm not done!
Talon Hurricane!
Roach's Fury! You're mine!
Freeze Lancer!
Hold nothing back!
Talon Hurricane!
Roach's Fury! This is looking good! Why'd you do it?
To stop you dying?
Feel like you again.
Roach's Fury!
Searing Blast! Reload!
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno! Ha! Ignite!
Take this!
Try harder! Not a
Let me
chance!
show you what you're
No
worth!
escape!
This one's mine!
You're finished!
Eat this! What a relief!
Here's a healing arm!
I'm on a
First
roll
aid!
now!
Searing Blast!
You're mine!
I'm all stopped up!
Benediction light. Heal!
Burning Strike!
You're
Here's
mine!
Evil! Freeze Lancer!
Here I come!
There you go!
Strike!
Feel like me
Mega
again!
ray! By the power of water!
I'll face you!
Gemini Aqua!
Will this help?
Here I come!
Free you of your power!
I'm not
Healing
done!
Circle!
Be careful not to overdo it.
I'm sorry. I'll do better.
Together!
Elusive deity!
Ray!
You see what happened there as you crossed me?
Are you ready? Doubling! In an instant! Impact Cross!
That was a little close for comfort.
The design of this equipment is written. Really interesting.
You must really like it, Alphen.
As if the normal beauty qualities aren't disgusting enough. Where are you going?
Inferno Punch!
Outstanding
Your
form.
armor won't save you! I'll finish you here and now!
Lightning! Downfall!
Negative 10! Come on! In a bind? All good things come to an end!
Orochi's Fury!
Seven-Eye Ultra Knuckle! By the power of water! Annihilation!
Orochi's Fury! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno! I'm not done! Easter!
Now
If it's in the sky, it's mine!
It's over!
Where are you going?
Here I come! I'm not done!
Dragon Shell!
I'm going to need to use all the power of my healing arts to accomplish
I'll stop its charge!
Thanks, Kisara!
Now you see what I can do!
You're mine! I'm not done! The flame inside me yearns to be let free!
Everlasting
Easter!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Strike! Orochi's Fury!
Fairy circle!
You must be tired of killing me. I'm merely doing what I can to help.
Try harder!
Glad you're on out. You'll finish.
Strike! You're finished!
If it's in the sky,
Try
it's
harder!
mine!
My turn! Strike!
I never miss!
Orochi's Fury!
No further! I'm on a roll now!
Take this! The flame inside me yearns to be let free! I owe you! You picked the wrong fight! Take this!
Everlasting shot!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Lady Fortune must truly be watching over me.
These structures don't look like anything built by the Renans, or even what we saw in the Forbidden Zone.
Perhaps this is the true architectural style of the Helganquil. Or perhaps the opposite, given their situation.
You mean like how some places favor building stuff with stone, while others rely on wood?
That's an interesting way of looking at it. I'll have to inquire with Hevrex 35 about it sometime.
see what I can do!
You're mine! Orochi's Fury!
Insects should stay on the ground.
Blow away!
Orochi's Fury! You got fire!
I've got this! Let a marksman
Too
handle it!
fast!
Stand back.
All yours!
I'll trip it up.
No, done! You're
Free
fit!
Blazer!
Take this!
Attacking hurricane! Searing flame! Reload!
It's on! Orochi's Fury!
Annihilation!
Struck! It's over!
Field!
You picked the wrong fight!
Talon Storm!
I'm not done! Orochi's Fury!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
There you go, Alphen!
It's time to end this battle!
I'm right beside you!
Orochi's
Where
Fury!
are you going?
I'm ready! The flame inside me, yours to be let free!
Spear! Pierce evil!
Burn! Take
roll
that!
now.
Talon Hurricane! Orochi's Fury! Wither Dragon! Blue Escape! You're finished!
Eagle Assault!
Shockwave Slash!
Spirits within
Lunar
the soil.
Blast!
Fury Strike!
Lunar Blast! I'm all stopped up! Annihilation!
A thrilling
Bring you
performance.
down!
Do it! Dueling! In an instant! Impact Block!
The heavens must be smiling.
On!
Here I come!
Water!
Come on!
You're mine! Not so
It's
fast.
over! The flame inside me, yours to be let free!
Sword!
Here I come! No escape!
I'm on it!
Hear my call!
I'll tear you apart! Watch it! I can carve through all this!
Here I come!
Clear for us a path.
Orochi's Fury!
Please,
Can't get out of this!
Take this! No escape! Burn in hell!
I'm ready! Lock! Get toasty!
Bird strike!
Right, next one!
My turn!
Already
No
on!
escape!
That'll bring you down!
You're finished!
I'm just getting started!
By the power of water!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! Eat this!
Mega Ray!
Here I come! Strike!
Lock! Get toasty!
Bird strike!
Haha! Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
I won't forgive you!
Take it!
Armor won't save you!
You're mine!
Resonate with the
Orochi's
earth!
Fury! It can hide itself from me?
Bloody hell!
Orochi's Being interrupted.
Swallow it!
It's on! Try hard not to!
Here's a healer!
Orochi's Fury!
I'm on a roll now!
Where are you going?
In a bind, rip it! The
fluidity of your movements are simply incredible.
Glacial Spear! Pierce
I'm
Evil!
just getting started! Eagle Rage!
Cyan Instant!
Try harder! Now!
Lunar Blast!
Strike! Dark Orochi Fury!
Ready to
Try harder! Now! Here I come!
Instant!
You picked the wrong fight!
Inferno Pulse!
No escape!
By the power of water!
Oh, now you're talking!
Orochi Fury!
Dirt! I never miss!
Talon Storm!
Back into the
Negative
fray!
gate!
This one keeps charging us!
That's
I
what my
must remember
shield's
my
for.
limit.
Get
Here's
behind
a
me!
healing
Got
eye.
it! I'll leave it to you! Orochi Fury! Burn!
Inferno Punch!
Orochi Fury!
I'll grind you into dust! Let's tear him up!
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Will this help?
Strike!
In a bind!
Healing circle!
Eat this!
Try harder!
That's enough!
Not a chance!
Talon Hurricane!
Giant
Now I
instant!
can let loose!
The enemy wields arts too.
You'll soon see about that!
Ignite!
Burning!
Orochi Fury!
Anything in armor
I'm
is
ready.
all mine!
Over! Astral energy! Full throttle!
That was a little close for comfort.
Those thorns.
I'm not letting them get in our way!
This might be some decent equipment.
Anything that makes battles easier is okay by me.
Let's see what you've got.
Stay
calm.
Where are you going?
I shall provide assistance.
Bloody howling! I can carve through
That
armor!
boss is driving me mad!
Giant instant!
I'll tear you apart!
Orochi Fury!
Blind freak! Why can't they just sit still?
Sion, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done! Giant instant!
Swallow dance!
Too fast!
Do it!
I'll trip it up.
Get toasty!
Bird strike!
Right, next one!
Take this! Already on it! Take it! Dance on the wing! Make you the abyssal
This one's
deep!
mine.
Clear for us a path! All right! Can't get out of this!
Take this!
Shouldn't have messed with me!
Orochi Fury!
Hold on to your art! Here I come!
Watch this!
Gemini Aqua!
It's on!
Talon Hurricane!
Orochi Fury!
Air pressure! Inferno Punch!
Take this!
Speed
Water! Here I
Wreak
go!
havoc!
Burn in hell!
Wing!
Here I come!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Here I
I'll heal
come!
you all!
Super swallow dance!
If it's in the sky,
Orochi
it's
Fury!
do it!
Armor won't save you!
Astral energy! Full throttle! Go! Haha! Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
Coming through.
Take this! I'm on it! No escape!
Where are you going?
Raging Lunar Storm!
You're mine!
Two heads! Well, not even fair!
Not a chance!
Soaring
I'm not done! Burn!
Eagle Assault!
Take this!
Now I'm in the
You're
groove!
finished!
Thank you! No further!
Mega Ray!
I'm on it!
Back into the fray!
Outstanding form!
Burn! Take the arrow! Shockwave flash! Death blossom! Seismic rupture!
Lunar corruption!
Try harder! Now I'll face you! Let me free you of your power. Ready and ready!
Recover!
Burn in hell! Catapult! I'm on a roll!
Lunar blast!
You're finished! Swallow dance!
Where are you going?
Here I come! Raging lunar storm! Armor won't save you!
Lunar blast!
You're mine! I'm not done! Everlasting dance! Death blossom!
Will this help?
Take this! Here I come! Cut! You're finished!
Healing circle!
Why'd you heal me?
To stop you dying?
Right.
Super swallow dance!
A freezing storm!
After knuckle! Take this! Orochi Fury! Catapult! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
There! One more!
Let's tear him up! Take it! Burn!
Annihilation!
Take this!
Everlasting
Dark! Swallow dance! Negative gate!
Easter!
Storm! Orochi Fury!
I never miss!
Awaken and wreak havoc! Fang Blast! Orochi Fury!
Lunar corruption!
Take that!
Gemini onward!
Here I come! I'm not done!
Lightning!
Orochi Fury!
Lunar corruption!
My natural defenses are fading. I'm a sitting duck.
Retreat from the sky!
Retreat? I would never!
It's over!
Water, hear my call!
Now you see what I can do! Burn in hell! Now we're not
Here, let me help!
Here I come! Swallow dance! Orochi Fury!
Hurricane!
You're finished!
Radiant
Now I'm in the groove! Can't get out of this! Take this!
I'm out of ammo!
Oh, now I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! First strike! Here I come! Orochi Fury! On your knees!
Lunar corruption!
Take this!
Lunar blast!
Whirlwind blast! Mystic mercy! Take this! I'm not done!
That'll bring you down!
I'll finish you here and now!
Then tonight's meal is on you.
Don't leave!
Go!
This one's got your name on it!
Action to action!
These bad guys really don't mess around.
An opponent like this should be easy.
I shall ensure you survive this! Rush! Orochi Fury!
Laser spear! Heal evil!
Burn! Here I come! Orochi Fury! Reflect on that! As your sword! Smash you! Orochi Fury! You're finished! I'm just getting started!
Water, hear my call!
Good things come to an end!
Redwell! Astral energy! Full throttle! Go!
Dragon Shell! Bestow that mystic
None
mercy!
shall escape my
Orochi
judgment!
Fury! Eagle Assault! Take this! I'm just getting started!
Do it!
Rip and tear!
This ends now! now!
Consider yourself finished!
There you go, Alphen!
It's time to end this battle!
I'm right beside you!
Inferno Punch!
Reload!
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno! Chill!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished! Now!
Here I go!
Here I come!
It's in the sky!
I can feel my power growing!
Thus our strength yet grows.
Right, here goes! You picked the wrong fight! Strike! Demon Roaching Fury! Does it hurt? Time to cross blade!
That'll bring you down!
Roaching Fury!
Let's tear him up!
You're mine!
I'm on a roll now!
Take this! It's over!
Freezing
Here I come! I'm not done! The Tempest engulfs you! Try hard!
With
blackened blade! Now! Here I come! Roaching Fury!
Carve through armor!
This one's all mine! No further!
Bestow
by
mystic
mercy! Strike!
Swallow dance! Watch this!
The fluidity of your music is simply incredible.
Let the marksman handle it!
I'll crush you!
Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! Dragon shell! Inferno punch! Where are you going?
You're finished!
Burn! Demon lash! Eagle ray!
Try harder! My turn!
Lunar blast!
Strike!
Watch this!
Take this!
Rip and
All
tear!
done!
Awaken and wreak havoc! There you are!
Here I come!
Soil!
Awaken and wreak
havoc! Annihilation! Swallow dare! No! Get carried away! I won't give in! Show thy mystic mercy!
You're mine!
See what happened there as you crossed me?
The flame inside me yearns to be let free!
Allow me to...
You're finished!
I'm on it!
Ignite!
Pieces!
Take it!
Attack time!
Strike!
It's time!
The Tempest engulfs you!
A thrilling performance! First strike! Armor won't save you! Bloody holiday!
I'll crush you!
Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! Talon
You're
hurricane!
mine!
That'll bring you down!
No escape!
Burn!
Roaching Fury!
Elusive fiend!
Let's
I'll
go!
finish you here and now!
You're mine! I'm not done!
Water! Hear my call!
Roaching
Demon
Fury!
lash!
This one's all mine! Chill!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished! With your flames and my technique,
We're stronger together than we are apart.
I shall provide assistance.
Fury!
Stalagmite! Rip and tear! Now I'm in your ears!
Orochi Fury!
Talon Sword!
Annihilation!
Orochi Fury!
Talon Hurricane! Bloody Holiday! On your knees!
Primed and ready!
Air
Do it!
pressure!
It's over! Astral energy! Full throttle! Go! A freezing storm!
Bestow thy mystic mercy!
I flare!
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet and
Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
Let's dispose of the trash.
You're mine!
None shall escape
Spirit!
my
Awaken! You dare strike me from behind?
Orochi Fury! First strike!
That'll bring you down.
You got fire!
I've got this. Let a marksman handle it.
Orochi Fury! All yours! Orochi Fury!
Annihilation! Where are you going?
Talon Hurricane! Prepare to be steamed!
Astral energy! Full throttle!
Not a chance! I'm not
What
dead!
deity?
Igniting!
Pile timer!
Orochi Fury!
I'm on it! I'm ready! All yours, Kisara!
My turn! Orochi Fury! We've turned the tables on him.
There are still more left.
Right. No time to hold back.
This!
Orochi Fury! As your
How
storm!
dare you oppose! Shattering the
I'm practically unstoppable.
Let's dispose of the trash.
Burn it out!
rending your
Talon Hurricane!
rip and tear!
Orochi Fury!
Careful!
I can carve
He has
through
to set
armor.
a camouflage!
Take this!
Outstanding form!
I'm not this
Where
time!
are you going?
It's over! Try harder! Not a chance!
Mega Ray!
Deliver us a path!
You picked the wrong fight!
By the power of
Orochi
water!
Fury!
Serpent!
Annihilation!
First strike!
Dragon Shout!
Burn!
I'll heal you all!
Rotating pile driver! Soaring blast!
Why'd you heal me?
To stop you dying?
You like me again! Shouldn't have messed with me!
Nothing!
Rip and tear! Power of water! Dance on the wind! Scream, bathed in blood! Rending bloody howling! I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! Eat this! I'll tear you apart!
Ignite!
I'll finish you here and now!
Take this! Orochi Fury!
Talon Hurricane! Bloody holiday!
That'll bring you down!
Let's tear 'em up!
Azure Storm!
Air
Moon
pressure!
eruption!
Try harder! Not a chance! This one keeps charging us!
Mercy!
That's what my shield's for. Get behind me.
Got it! I'll leave it to you!
Don't tell me armor won't save you!
Fire blast!
Orochi Fury!
The flame of death! Rip and tear!
Orochi Fury!
Quit pushing yourself and get behind us!
I'll be right as rain in no time!
Eat your...
Aqua
Here I come! Orochi
I'm going to
Fury!
need to use all the power of my healing arts to accomplish this! Primed and ready!
I'll run you through!
That'll bring bring you down.
No dawn shall break this
I'm
night.
not done! First strike!
I'll face you. I'm ready. Take
Mega Ray!
Come on,
Here,
roll
power
now.
of water!
Try harder! Now! Take this!
Should have
Orochi
messed
Fury!
with me.
Downfall!
Strike!
Swallow dance.
Annihilation!
Anything in order.
Do it!
Hear me! Flame of
Chill!
fury! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
That's some power you wield.
You. We're the one who did the heavy lifting.
Let's see what you've got.
Here I go! Flame and fire!
Here's
Three!
Screen Lancer!
It's over! You picked the wrong fight! You're mine! Orochi Fury!
Lunar Blast! I'm ready!
Inferno punch.
I never miss!
What's this?
Fluid kick!
Raging now you see what I can do.
It's over!
Here I go!
Orochi Fury!
Downfall!
Super. And see what happened there as you
I'll
crossed
trip
me.
it up.
Shouldn't have done that.
First strike!
Ripping you apart.
Fluid kick!
In a bind.
It's on!
Talon Hurricane.
Orochi
Now
Fury!
in the groove. I'll crush you. Lightning reflexes. Tenebrous claw.
Take this! I'm not done! Burn! Take this!
Thrilling performance.
I'm not done!
Mega Ray!
Hitting pile driver.
Azure Storm!
Mega
Right
Ray!
way!
This one's mine!
Try this! Blending Kick!
That'll bring you down!
Orochi Fury!
Storm. Shattering pieces.
Here I come!
In a bind.
It's over! It's on!
Smash you.
You're mine! Ignite!
Lunar Corruption!
You're mine! Orochi Fury!
Annihilation!
On your
Flame!
The fluidity of your movements are simply incredible.
Talon Hurricane! Out of ammo!
Take this!
bloody howling.
Try harder! My turn! No escape!
Talon Storm! Escape my
Freaking
freaking
does it. Deep Fist has got
It's
your
over.
name on him.
This one's mine!
You're mine!
Radiant Storm! Here!
Talon
I'm
Storm.
going to use all
right,
the
hold
of my
it.
healing arts to accomplish this! Resurrection!
I'll crush you. Lightning reflexes. Tenebrous claw. Watch this.
You're mine! This one's all mine! Burn in hell!
Lunar Corruption!
Here I come! Strike!
Gemini Aqua!
Ready and ready. Elusive deity.
Into the
Storm
center!
won't save you.
Prepare to be seen! Here I come!
Mega Ray!
Let's tear him up. Dance in
Do
the
it.
wind.
Chill!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
Pow!
Here I come! First strike!
Begin the
Take
fray.
this! Yours!
I'll cover you!
Here I come!
Raging Lunar
Now
Storm.
you let loose!
Dark
You're
Wind.
finished! You picked the wrong fight! Here I come!
Elusive deity.
Strike!
Breeze Lancer!
Everlasting
You're
Dust.
finished!
That'll
bring you down. Eagle Ray! You're mine! I'm on! I'm not done! Talon Storm! Seven on the wind! Talon Hurricane! All good things come to an end. Talon Hurricane! Can you take it? Does it hurt?
Here's evil.
Talon Hurricane! Here I come! The flame inside me yearns to be let free! Orochi Fury! Now you see what I can do! Ignite! Benediction light! You're mine! Orochi Fury!
Lunar corruption.
I'll finish you here and now!
Amazing.
I never miss.
Raging Luna Storm! You're mine!
Graviton
Talon Hurricane! Elusive Deity! Take this! No dawn shall break this night! Super Shock! That does it!
Let me show you what my arts can do.
You're mine! You're mine! Strike! The Tempest engulfs you! Reflect the light. They smite with blackened flame! Hurricane!
I'm going to...
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! Dragon! Anything in armor is all up! You picked the wrong fight! Death take this! Elusive Fury!
Okay, I'm ready. This one's mine.
What's this? Resonate with the earth!
Evil
On your
Lunar corruption. By the power of water.
You're mine! Eat this! Elusive Fury!
Hurricane! Power of water.
You're mine! Escape! Elusive Fury! I can carve through armor!
Reload.
The flame inside me yearns to be let free! Eat
Hear
this!
my call.
You're mine! Elusive Fury! Spirits within the soil! Awaken and wreak havoc! Elusive Fury!
Outstanding form.
Let me free you of
Mega
your
Ray.
power!
That'll bring you down.
First strike! Azure Storm! I'll tear you apart! The flame inside me yearns to be let free! Ignite! Blow away!
Get toasty.
Burn strike!
Don't push yourself too hard.
Hey, new equipment!
Forgive you!
It's over! Black and gray! Orochi Fury!
By the power of water!
Orochi Fury!
Hurricane!
Make it try harder! Now!
Punch!
Megasonic Thrust!
I'm on a roll now!
It's over!
Scion Instant!
Deep! Clear for us a pack! Orochi Fury!
Talon, I'll smash you!
Orochi Fury! No further! Crush!
Serpent Knuckle! Yes!
Where are you going?
You're mine! No escape! Ignite! Take this!
Crescent Flash!
I'm not done!
Whirlwind Snap!
Raining Flash!
Lunar Corruption!
Sword Rain Alpha!
By the power of water!
Can you take it? Megasonic Thrust!
Here! Out of ammo!
I'm not done!
Blind you with a
Fury!
Dance on the wind! Annihilation! Talon Hurricane!
A charge like that could easily be fatal.
Just as well, I'm here to stop it.
Searing Flame!
Dance! Try harder! My turn!
Thankful
No
Arrow!
escape! It's on!
Inferno Punch!
Not today!
Rise and Rend!
Take this!
Death Blossom! Burning
Orochi
Blast!
Fury!
I never miss!
It's over!
I'll smash you!
Amazing.
Here I come!
Gravity Shield!
In a bind?
Dark Wind!
Orochi Fury!
Dragon Shell!
This one's all mine! Orochi Fury!
Eagle Soul!
Heal!
Outstanding form!
Azure Storm!
Here's a
Raging Luna Storm! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Here, cut the helm!
Ha! Burn in hell!
First aid!
Sorry to trouble you.
Do the same for me!
Dually! In an instant! Impact Cross!
Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
That enemy looks strong. I bet it'll be worth our while to fight it.
This one will be difficult to predict.
I'm surrounded! The sky is mine! I think I'll pass out the handshake!
It's on!
Flying freak! Why can't they just sit still?
Seal, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done.
Here I come!
In the light.
Not today!
Take this!
None shall escape
Allow me to
my
help you
judgment!
through. I'll tear you apart!
Ready!
Clear for us a path!
I'll stop its charge!
Thanks, Kisara!
Here I come! I'm not done! Orochi! Here I come! I'm not done!
Show you what my art can do! Rise and shine!
All finishes here and now! Begin!
Where are you going?
Rip and tear!
Radiant light!
Orochi Fury!
Here! Reload!
The flame inside me, yours, will be let free!
Lunar corruption!
Ignite!
Eat this!
Lunar blast!
I'm not done!
Everlasting dark!
Orochi Fury!
Negative gate! Now you see what I can do!
I'm ready!
In a bind! Eat this!
It's over!
That'll bring you down!
You're mine!
The fluidity of your movements are simply incredible.
Lunar corruption!
Onward! There!
Gemini Aqua!
Hold nothing back! Oroshi's Fury!
I'll heal you all!
Dark wind!
Any more of this and I'll burn out!
Swallow dance!
Oroshi's Fury! You picked the wrong fight! Oroshi's Fury!
Hitting down!
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno! Here I come!
I'm just getting started!
If it's in the sky, it's mine! Lunar corruption!
Rending you a bloody howling!
This one's mine!
Take this!
Take this!
Oroshi's Fury!
I'm just getting started! Take Bolero!
Burn in hell!
Lunar blast! That's
Take
the
this!
spray! Annihilate
Resonate
gold!
with the earth!
Get Sword Rain Alpha!
Let me help!
Soil.
No further!
Outstanding form!
You see what happened there is you crossed me. Shouldn't have done
I
that.
never miss!
Take this! Eat your sword! This one's all mine!
Cyan Instinct!
Chill!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
There you go, Alphin!
It's time to end this battle!
I'm right beside you!
Move it! Burn! Here I come! You're mine! Oroshi's Fury!
Healing circle!
It's over!
On your knees.
This should do it!
Fury, burning!
Can you take it? Come on!
I'm not... Not a chance!
Rain Lancer!
I'm not... Burn!
Watch this!
Cyan Instinct!
Elusive deities!
Oroshi's Fury!
Rotating firefighter! Bestow thy mystic mercy!
The flame inside me, yours, to be let free! Oroshi's Fury!
Is that a healing art? It is. I can't ignore your pain. I'll try to be more careful.
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno! Oroshi's Fury! Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Striker!
Haha! Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny new.
We got some good equipment!
I can't say its appearance is to my tastes, personally.
Get lost!
Here I come!
Resonate with the
Where are
earth!
you going?
I'm not done!
Water, hear my call! Burn! Burning strike!
Our arts are being interrupted. You're mine! Orochi Fury! Orochi Fury! Resonate with the earth! This one's all mine! Ignite! First strike! Orochi Fury!
Thanks, Shion.
Be careful not to overdo it.
Can't
One
get out of
second.
this!
I'll do better.
Orochi Fury!
Do it! Get toasty!
Burn strike!
Right, next one!
Now! Already on! Let's go! Flame inside me! Yours to be let free! I'll take you all on! Eat your execution! I can carve through armor!
Hear me, flame of fury! Burning
Orochi Fury! Again! I'm ready! We did it!
Talon storm! Water, hear my call!
Orochi Fury!
Laser spear, here's evil!
First strike!
Freeze
Heal!
laser!
Enter storm! No hit
I
zone!
never miss!
Strike!
Another incantation ruined.
Burn in hell!
Demon Lance!
You're mine!
Eagle Hear me, flame of fury!
Orochi Fury!
Here's evil! Eagle assault! Freeze lancer!
I'll tear you apart! I'm just getting the smoke!
On your
Take it! Hurricane! Orochi Fury! Try harder!
Anything in order!
really
I'm not done!
Can't get out of this!
Mega ray!
Take it!
Make the abyssal deep clear for us a path!
Hurricane!
All good things come to an end!
It's in the sky,
Here I
it's
come!
mine!
Orochi Fury! Not today! First strike!
Death shall let me free you
I'm
of
not
the
done!
power
I never
surges through
miss! Whirlwind smash!
Orochi Fury! Storm! I'll smash
Show
you!
thy mystic mercy!
None shall escape my judgment!
Dragon Shout!
I'm your doctor here.
Then tonight's meal is on you.
Keep going. What to make?
So you clamor for my true power?
Orochi Fury!
Surges through
I'll
me.
put you through!
Elusive deity!
Whirlwind smash! Try harder!
Eagle ray!
It's on!
Behold, now behold! The earth pulse! Tectonic vision! Dance on the wind!
Not today!
I'm going to need to use all the
Orochi
power of my
Fury!
healing word to
Prepare to be
accomplish this.
sealed!
I'm in your debt.
Where are you going?
You're mine! It's over! You're on!
Glacial spear! Here's evil! Freeze lancer!
I'll tear you apart!
Leave the charge with me!
Deity!
Mega ray!
All good things.
Ready
In a bind?
Take it! It's on!
Talon hurricane! Strike!
Not today!
Instinct shot!
Do it!
Let me free you of your...
Go for it! Prepare to crumble! They really made us work for that one. What do you think this place was for?
What the hell? Are they asleep?
No. They appear to be well preserved. However, they are all dead.
Dead? So this is a mass grave?
Looks that way. However, none of them appear to be Helganquil.
Bear in mind that Renans were originally Danans, who were remade and sent to live on Lenegus. Knowing that, they would have needed a place to perform the procedures somewhere.
And that place is here, I assume.
So what you're saying is that all of these are Danan, or rather, Renan bodies?
Most likely, yes. It must have been abandoned for one reason or another.
There are so many of them. They were all taken away, but never given the chance to wake.